Good evening, traders, and welcome to another StockX post-market recap for May the 30th. It is end of the month, and there's a lot of things going on in this market, and a lot of things happening in our room. So if you guys like this content, please feel free to hit the subscribe and like button to get content daily and a lot of educational material that we share here all the time. So if you guys are watching this for the very first time, we're basically give a breakthrough of what happened in the chat room, go over a little bit about our trades, and also share a little bit of insight about the market and what's to come. And during these conversations, we also talk a lot about our technique, our approach to when it comes to dealing with the market overall in general. So it's very important to go over that. Okay. So first thing we want to start off with is we give daily predictions in terms of using different gamma levels. So what gamma is basically understanding a little bit about the market option trading ranges, understanding a little bit about the delta on these option premiums. When do they start to see significant moves? So if you guys are familiar with calculus, just a little bit of theory behind it, the delta is basically the derivative of the rate of change, right? So the gamma is the derivative of the delta. So in other words, we want to see where the major shift happens in the delta in terms of option premiums. Okay, so if you don't understand that, no worries, it doesn't matter. But the key thing that you want to understand pretty much is that gamma ranges give you an idea of what the market makers are hedging and what level of trading range we're looking throughout the day. And that's how I managed to make these predictions. Okay, so for today, our prediction that we had noticed is that today we see the call gamma sharp spike like yesterday. So key thing to note here, we mentioned we're going to have a similar day like yesterday. But the key stock difference is that it stops at 5260. So what this means is that SPX is bullish if it manages to get above 5260. That is crucial to know, okay? Which is our estimated weekly low. So we actually broke below my estimated weekly low. So the put gamma was showing some downside choppiness. If SPX if probabilities are diminished if under 5250. So pretty much what I meant by that is that there's a low chance SPX will break below 5250, right, or hold that level for a very long time, which is true in some way, shape, or form, because during later on the day we did break above, and the neutral gamma was at 5260, 5270. Okay, with this information as a trader, we basically, after giving my levels, so here's my levels, we set up the neutral range here. The neutral range is between 5260, 5270. So a little bit about the neutral range. What is it? This neutral range pretty much tells you when the shift is happening, right? Right now, if you are under this neutral range, you are in the negative delta. Okay, that negative delta tells you that you are more likely to see more downside action. The market's going to continue trending lower. Okay, we got our pre-market high and pre-market low levels here. So this was the beginning of the market. Pretty much we dipped, bounced off my level 1 bearish support. So these are my levels for my inflection point. They're all time stamped, okay? Right over here, you see over 5274. So I actually gave calls at that specific point. So how I do things here in my small account channel. So if you guys are looking at my my free Discord, what I did here is that I basically gave out this SPY 525 call at 30 cents. If it fills, that's the target, okay? So it filled exactly right over here because I know my calculations very well. So I gave this at 944, okay? 944 was right over here, around this time over here, okay? It did not fill at that time. This thing was close to a fill at 10:50 a.m. So if we go 10:50 a.m., approximately right over here, okay? So I managed to pinpoint exactly what price SPY would get when SPX reaches here, okay? So that's one thing that you guys need to know if you guys are watching. I pinpoint premiums as they approach my inflection point, so that way when you get that entry, you're already prepared. And I do this all the time. And I did it very similar, but I'm just explaining for this component right now too. Okay. I also gave other trades as well on SPX on when to buy and so forth. So once that failed, it failed, and then pretty much it hit my target here. Okay, so they were 4 cents from here. Hit the target. I gave it at 50 cents. So I gave the SPY 525 calls. They pretty much hit my target, and then they exceeded it. This is when SPX stopped. So I basically said max target was 0.6. It went to 0.7. And then from there, that's where things start to take a worse trade, where things start to really drop here. Okay, so that's how I work things. When it comes to reading option premiums. Okay, it's not just about support or resistance. It's about understanding how different deltas work, how different pricing works, where's a key inflection point, when's a good time to buy. Okay, now let's go over our trades. Okay, so our trades that I have given today, I gave many great trades as well, and I did make a mistake too, but that's fine. We ended up net positive. So what I did here is I basically placed an order to buy ARM 123 call lottos at 1. Reason why we liked ARM today had to do with the fact that they had news on a new design for their chip. Okay, I seen strength there early on, so I jumped into next week as well. These are my trades from the past that I've actually swung and pretty much still holding. Just a little bit of context. GME, I had the calls from last week, so this was a roll up. This was just with profits. It's gone to shit. Yes, I know. Tesla puts, we just bought it off Monday because we thought there would be news. SMCI 900 calls. This is purely based off the Dell earnings, which has gone to shit, and Nvidia pretty much gone to shit. Okay, so these were impulsive buys, but regardless, all my winners, I've already sold them, right? So that's pretty much what I want to bring to your attention. Okay. So another thing is I placed an order to buy Dell. That didn't fill. That was way out of its price. I bought the Tesla puts, calls there, 90 cents. These actually went to 50% right away. I didn't sell them. Got a little too greedy with that. And then pretty much we got the fill on ARM. When they filled, ARM actually went lower, but I managed to sell them for around 50%. I took the profit immediately, which was nice. And we placed an order to buy SMCI 900 call again. That didn't fill. We took Netflix put swing here, so I'll explain that trade in a bit. We got SPX a D-Gen Lotto near end of the day when I knew that the market was going to break down. And that was a nice 200% that we had taken. Okay, I actually took SPX calls near the end of the day as well, which is purely based on a lotto, based on the earnings and 50-day moving average, right? So pretty much this was the ideal area where I wanted to sell, so I sold here. Exactly, made that 300%, took calls. Some people sold it right away, but I thought, okay, this has to be the bottom here. But most likely we should open slightly lower because SPY is recovering here a little bit. But our SPX calls are not even down much that we're swinging overnight. But this should be a very strong support here on the 200-day moving average that we're just watching. Excuse me. So now based on that here, the Dell earnings came out. I want to talk a little bit about ARM here. Okay, so I called the top on ARM here. This was way back. We didn't add, but I just wanted to buy because of the news. I already sold this week's, but I'm holding next week, so I'm not too worried about that. On that because ARM looks better than most of the stocks here. Tesla, I actually short-sighted here. It's in chop range. I need to stop trading Tesla because Tesla is very news-based. Anything can happen, and it's been pretty much chopping in range here, right? So, not real fan of that. SMCI broke below my estimated weekly low, and this is in a very bearish range, so just be careful if you're holding this. It's possible it can see 789 on Dell's earnings. So that's very possible it can happen. Okay, Dell, they beat on their revenue, but missed on EPS, or vice versa. I gotta look into it again. I don't remember, but it's no surprise here. So one thing about Dell, I actually called a top here as well. So pre-market, Dell was at 182.5. Okay, you can see here this is during market hours. It hit 179 and then it broke down from that point on. I gave this to the Twitter before the market opened on X. You guys can see that as well. But pre-market here, you can see here that it was pretty much trading near my estimated weekly high. This is before the market was opening. So that's very interesting to see that I keep calling out the tops and bottoms. Kind of missed out on a few stocks, but we're watching it. Broadcom is now trading up a little bit near my estimated weekly low, and we're watching that. Okay, I want to talk about Netflix here. So these are actually old. I never analyzed Netflix, but these are my old charts. So let's just remove that. I see the potential where Netflix can actually drop. So keep an eye on this stock here, because next week I think it may see some weakness here. There's news that they're getting rid of their ad tier, which is their cheapest plan. They're going to likely lose subscribers. They're price gouging again. And just like Salesforce, we're seeing weakness on that front with this particular stock. So definitely keep an eye on that as well. And that's going to affect that. Okay. CrowdStrike is up on Zscaler earnings. Okay, so Zscaler is looking better. Cyber stocks may definitely do very good. We didn't play this for earnings whatsoever. Okay. So overall, right now on SPX guidance, it has to hold this 5230 mark here. We are likely to test 5200 if it doesn't break above. It looks like a death cross is forming here on SPX, and it looks like we're going to be trending down for a bit into the core PCE. So core PCE is going to be the thing that's going to move the market, okay? And that's very important to remember, because one thing about core PCE, doesn't contain food or inflation. And regardless, I read in between the lines and the numbers. So the last CPI report, the details behind that was that we knew the CPI report for last month would be bullish, because it took out the price of coffee out of that report. And we mentioned that to our members. If you guys are following, you got that news, and that's when we rallied. Okay, this core PCE, core PCEs tends to be more bullish and bearish, and it tends to most likely be favorable to the bulls. Okay, that's why I took calls here. So it's expected at 0.3. If it comes at 0.2 or 0.1, we could probably see a nice rally that SPX happens right at this 200-day moving average. Okay, my calls, I took the 5260 calls near close, and they're still holding very well as well. Okay, and we gave that to the free room as well. So it's all about the core PCE. Dell earnings failed to hold the market up, and CRM failed as well. So the market doesn't look too favorable on that side, and we could probably see banks move very well off a good inflation report. So if the inflation comes in at 0.2 or less, you can see a nice ripper on the S&P 500. You can see a nice ripper on a lot of things. Okay, so keep an eye on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this content so far. I talked a little bit about the deltas, gamma levels, how we use this in our trading approach, and there's different many strategies. There's a lot of content in my Discord channel besides this these market recaps. Okay, it is all about the CPI report, and if I was to pretty much give my analysis, I am leaning more towards on the bullish side, not because I'm holding my positions, which are pretty much calls, and I got puts on Netflix, but I believe that only to happen because the core PCE doesn't contain the price of food or energy, which is the thing that's causing the inflation, and yields were definitely strong all week. So it is possible we could see a rebound here. The put premiums, so the put premiums actually reached their peak from my analysis, and it actually stopped right on the dot. I don't want to share that with you guys right now. That's for insiders, but I got a peak indicator on my on my weekly analysis. I'll share that maybe another day, but I don't want to talk about that. And when the premium reaches its peak, it's going to attract a lot of covering. So I see the potential for a lot of covering happening. Just be cautious about that. What you need to know is that if SPX stays above 5220, 5200, most likely we can recover, and my estimate is just right over here, 5280, 5260 zone likely to happen. So I hope you guys enjoy this content. Thank you for watching. For the people that do watch, you guys get a lot of insight, okay, into this material, and let your friends or family know. There's a lot of details here that I'm willing to share, and if you guys watch it throughout the entire thing, you will learn a lot. I can promise you that. Okay, if you guys want to learn way more and take private lessons, we do offer that in my mentorship channel, one-on-one, so you guys can learn a lot more on that specific detail. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one. And a pleasure for everyone that's watching my content.